Welcome. It's really sweet to be here with you today. It's a beautiful summer day here where I live in the Bay Area. And I would love to share with you a little bit more about a really central meditation practice that I call the vast heart. So right now, let's just take a moment to engage a simple short version of this, and then I'll explain a bit more about it and why this practice wants to become a really important part of your inner spiritual life. So for the time being, just make sure that you're sitting comfortably where you won't be disturbed. And just bring your awareness to the breath, regarding each inhale as a welcome to just be right here where you are, how you are, feeling as if life itself is welcoming you with infinite openness. And with each exhale, you can just allow a natural letting go, as if just melting. Perhaps seeing if some holding patterns in your body can just melt deeper into the chair, into the floor. And as if you're naturally just drawing into yourself in the present moment. And that the space, the life-giving oxygen that is here as you breathe in, and that which you're letting go into is infinitely spacious, infinitely embracing of all parts of you. Just taking in the holding of the chair that receives your body. Just taking in my presence here with you right now. Just relaxing the need to do anything or get anywhere, become anyone. Just melting into being. And now bring your focus into your heart area. And consider the possibility that your heart could be breathed horizontally. Not your physical heart, but that felt sense of heart. That sense of being connected, and that subtle presence of love and compassion and kindness that is there in all of us. Feel a sense of your heart being breathed with each inhale, allowing the heart to expand, expanding beyond the borders of your physical form. To feel your heart expanding to fill the space. And as if your heart could just be breathed infinitely, each inhale, allowing it to open a little bit more, but without straining. So you feel as if your heart could extend and expand as infinitely as the horizon itself. and feeling your heart being breathed horizontally. Just sense the natural interconnectedness of your heart with all hearts. Recognizing that that which is breathing you is breathing all beings, all forms. And in that recognition, you may sense a felt sense of love and brother sisterhood with everyone listening to this meditation along with you, all the creatures. And so now let the focus of awareness come to your heart, but letting it be breathed vertically. And as the breath allows more space to open in the heart vertically, see if you can feel that ground underneath you and the infinite sky-like spaciousness above you. And feel that sense of being supported by not just this earth, but that which is causing this earth. And not just by the spaciousness of the sky above, but the infinite spaciousness itself. So let your heart feel and sense the infinite ground and the infinite space and light. As if being brought into deep alignment vertically. As the breath breathes the heart open in this way. And now let the heart be breathed front and back. Again, feeling that sense of the breath allowing more space for the heart beyond the body, beyond form and even time. So you feel all the love and the wisdom from all that has come before you, all that has brought you to this point in life and on the path. Feeling the love and the wisdom and the grace that has come through your ancestors, through your spiritual teachers and their teachers, and the lineages of truth that have in any way helped you to be here right now. Including all of the subtle dimensions of love, of grace, from enlightened beings and celestial beings. As you feel the breath allowing more space in the heart back and front, feel that dissolving of time and form that helps you to experience that river of unfolding love, blessing that pours through you and will pour forth for those who come after you. your children, their children, the generations of seekers and practitioners in the next generations and beyond. So feeling your heart as an open doorway that is open and spacious and loving. And then let your heart be breathed in all directions simultaneously. As if your heart is like a giant lotus, revealing its petals to allow the luminous qualities of your divine true nature to shine forth for the love that is your deepest nature, and the compassion, the kindness, the courage, the strength, the joy to be unimpeded, that you and I, many of us, may not only have moments of grace, but may become truly graceful human beings in our world, embodying all the qualities and the beauty of our heart's nature deeper into life. Ramana Maharshi spoke about our heart being our only true reality. And you'll notice if you've read Eastern teachings, particularly teachings of Advaita Vedanta, they speak a lot about letting the mind drop into the heart. And you'll notice if you've studied Sufi teachings, there's a tremendous emphasis on the heart as the part of our spiritual physiology that helps us to truly actualize our divine nature. And so in every tradition, there's such an important emphasis on cultivating and purifying the depths of the heart so that we may truly embody some of the deepest qualities of our divine true nature, and in particular, the qualities of love and kindness and compassion that are so needed in our world at this point. So I want to say a bit more today about this practice, the vast heart meditation practice, and about meditation in general, and to invite you to join together as a community of people sincerely wanting not just to have moments of grace, moments of contact with your true nature, but to really live a life of grace. And if you really want to live a life of grace, an awakened life, then meditation really wants to become your cherished friend. So I've studied many methods of meditation over the 3 decades that I've been practicing and teaching and helping others on their path. And there are a few things that I've noticed in the spectrum of diversity of different approaches to meditation. Many classical schools of meditation, Eastern and Western, really understand that true meditation, or what's called samadhi, really involves not doing anything at all, like really ceasing and desisting any kind of ego activity. And if you've been reading my book, The Way of Grace, then you'll notice that that's really the essence of ego relaxation, is ceasing to egoically try to do, get, become, seek for, and even relinquish. And yet, ego relaxation is both simultaneously a very natural state. It is actually the state of our being when we're not kind of manipulating our experience. It's very restful, it's very organic. And yet often, because of the way that we're living and in the patterns that we've become habituated to, we need a little more support, a little more focus in order to deepen in that practice of ego relaxation and really abide in a more natural, expanded state of being. And so you'll notice that most methods of meditation include, certainly at the beginning part of the meditation, a period of just collecting our attention, of settling, and then of concentrating our attention. And so you'll see in Zen meditation, for example, there's often a focus on the breath or the breath counting, or there'll be a focus of just witnessing thoughts coming and going, witnessing your experience. Or there'll be a particular focus on a mantra. And so if you understand that what all of those different focuses are doing is, on one level, collecting and concentrating your attention, it's a prelude for just letting all forms of concentration go and dropping into a deep state of being. But simultaneously, every different method of concentration has a secondary purpose, and that's usually got something to do with helping to purify and stabilize our subtle body, our subtle physiology. And we'll see, again, if you look at different traditions, that there seems to be a universal agreement that there are three primary centers in our subtle spiritual physiology, and that each of them are important in helping us to truly live an awakened life in the world. So one of those centers is our deep belly center, or what's been called the Dantian or the calf center. And that gives us a way of perceiving and experiencing reality in a sensed way, to feel the immediacy. And so if you've been working with my Mountain of Presence meditation, you'll notice that the focus of concentration is on that center. And so it helps us to ground and to become more present and stabilized in presence, which is extremely important. Our head center is very important too. And when it's purified and opened, when relaxed out of ego thinking, our head center opens up to become pure perception, pure clarity, pure awareness. But today I want to focus more on the heart center. And the heart really offers us a really profound way of coming into an intimate felt sense of grace, an intimate felt sense of divine presence, of your divine true nature. Now, most mystical systems also understand that many of the most beautiful qualities of our true nature actually emerge out of the heart center. And that's particularly obvious when you think about, states like love or compassion or joy. If you really penetrate deeply into an experience of being very joyous, you'll notice that it actually is a quality. It's a part of the ananda of your deepest heart. And so this meditation focus of the vast heart really helps not only to help you to really feel the divine presence, to really feel intimate with the grace of being and the grace of your own being, but it helps to bring more fully forward those beautiful qualities that make you truly happy, that help you really feel all that beauty and truth, and that really light you up from the inside. So this method of meditation wants to be done firstly as in a concentrated way, in a formal way. And if you don't already have an established meditation practice, then this, I hope, will serve to inspire you to take one up. And so if you don't already have somewhere that you sit for meditation, be that a chair on your deck outside or a specific spot in your house, it doesn't have to be grand. It really does help to have a designated place that you've set aside for your sacred space, your particular spot in the house where you put everything else aside and you truly let your focus drop to the heavens within. So once you have some physical place that you've chosen as the place you're going to do this formal part of the meditation practice, what you want is to take everything that's distracting away from you, to not have your cell phone anywhere near you, or at the very least, turn it off, and to turn your focus within to make sure that you have what you need to be sitting in an upright posture. So, particularly for meditation practices that are helping to open and awaken the subtle body in a particular way, posture is extremely important. So, you want to sit really on your sits bones with your spine as upright as it can be for you, upright, alert, but comfortable, with the crown of your head as if being pulled upward and the tongue just touching the roof of the mouth slightly and letting your chin drop so your whole spine can just elongate. That's particularly important with this meditation where we're focusing on expansion and breath in the heart center. So we don't want to feel slumping or constriction because that will limit the possibilities. So you want to begin this practice, as with any of the practices that I teach, with the basic ego relaxation, what I call melting into ego relaxation. And you'll find a description of that in chapter 1 of my book, but basically it's very simple. You sit in that upright posture and you just bring your awareness to the breath, feeling as if each inhale is a complete welcome. A welcome for you to be exactly as you are, where you are in this moment. And that each exhale is an invitation to melt, not to push anything away, not to try to get to some idea of an enlightened condition, just to allow yourself to melt into your direct experience, into the sensations of your direct experience, into wherever you are. And this is important because it allows a natural, unconditional settling to just take place and for you just to relax right where you are. And so once some basic settling has happened, you then want to bring your focus of attention to the area of your heart itself. Now, we're not really talking about the physical organ of the heart, but the spiritual center of the heart. So you'll notice that there's a felt sense in the center of your chest of luminosity or of a certain kind of presence. There are many ways that we can feel that. You might feel it as a lovingness. You might feel it as a softness. You might feel it as a luminosity. And there's no wrong or right way to feel this. But what you want to feel without trying too hard is as if your heart had nostrils, as if your heart itself was being breathed, that you're not doing the effort of feeling the expansion of your heart, but you're just letting it happen as easily and as naturally as breathing. And remember that you don't actually have to effort to breathe. Breathing comes naturally. You are always being breathed. So you just bring the focus of concentration to the heart area and feel it being breathed, firstly on the horizontal plane. And so you might want to feel as if every inhale just allows more space horizontally. And you can stay with this and let that develop for a while, seeing where you feel the boundaries of that heartfulness, or whether there are any boundaries. You want to just let it happen, let it be breathed until you start feeling as if your heart is expanding beyond your body, expanding beyond the borders of this room, expanding beyond kind of form and space and ideas, until you feel this kind of vertical openness of heart. And when you feel that vertical openness or that horizontal openness of heart, what you'll notice is that there's a natural loving quality that recognizes and starts to become intimate with that sense of being one with all beings, or being interdependent, interconnected. And you might start to feel that as if that which is breathing you is also breathing everything and everyone else. And so this is very important because it helps to dissolve the feeling of duality, the feeling of separate bodies carving up reality. So you start to feel how natural it is to wish all beings well, to be part of all that is, to feel part of the trees and the plants, to feel that kindness towards everything and everyone that you recognize is not actually other, it's not really else. And so you stay with that felt sense of the heart being breathed horizontally. And when this really opens up, it certainly for me anyway feels as if my heart really is as vast as the infinite sea and sky, that there's no boundary really. And so the heart takes on that boundless quality, not as an idea, but as something you really feel. So then you move the attention to feeling your heart being breathed vertically. And this is a very different kind of support or different kind of quality or effect that it has on your internal subtle physiology. It brings you into a deep sense of being vertically aligned. So what do I mean by that? Vertical alignment is really where you can feel that the true support doesn't really come from other people, what they do or say, but true support is always here, like the ground is always here. And I don't just mean the physical ground of this earth. I mean that your heart is infinitely supported by the infinite ground of grace, that which causes absolutely everything to arise. And so that you can really feel that, not just in your lower body that the mountain of presence helps to awaken, but you can feel that that is actually what supports your heart to open at a whole other level. And simultaneously, that is what also supports the vertical awakening in the upper body. And so we can feel the spaciousness in the regions above, the space of the sky, the space of the atmosphere, the space, indeed the space that, absolutely everything is arising within. And we can feel our heart being breathed vertically and opening ourselves to find natural and deeper alignment with the love that is this space, the love that is this infinite ground, the space and the love, the form and the emptiness of absolutely everything. And so as you feel that vertical breath, you feel that support to come into an even deeper center in the heart that is just infinitely free and infinitely grounded at the same time. And then you shift the focus to feeling the breath of the heart move front and back simultaneously. And so this helps to dissolve the barrier, the felt sense of time and space. So when you feel as if the breath is opening up space in the back of your heart, when you start to feel, not just understand, but feel, is that you are here, you are on the path, you are existing by the grace of so many other beings, of your parents, your ancestors, all of your spiritual teachers, all of their teachers, all of the love that is poured through every book that's meant anything to you, of so many subtle forces and beings, including enlightened beings, celestial beings, spirit guides, whether or not you even believe in such things. And that simultaneously, the fruits of your practice, of anything that gets opened up in you, isn't just for you to have a sweeter, nicer time of things, but for that stream of love and wisdom and truth and beauty and goodness to pour forth and to extend blessings deeper into life for the benefit of all else, everyone who will come after you. And so you feel that stream of infinite love and wisdom and depth just breathing itself through your heart into life. And then ultimately we let the heart be breathed in all directions simultaneously, which of course is an exquisite experience when we are truly ready to come to that part of the practice, because we feel the vastness of heart itself, the boundlessness of real love, the availability of kindness and compassion, and the natural intelligence of the heart that understands the virtue of love and why it's so important, and the natural embodiment and expression of that. We recognize that that is ourself, that is the heart of our being, that is the heart of God, and that all things can come to rest in that. The mind that thinks it's the separate doer, the parts of yourself that get deluded and think they have to figure it all out without support, all those ego strategies, and all of the challenges that you face and that we face as a collective body of people can come to rest. It can all just melt, drop deep down into the vastness and be held by the heart, not even yours or mine anymore, the heart. So you can imagine that if you were to do this practice for 20 to 30 minutes every day, that something in your experience of daily life would start to significantly change. And so that's why I'm inviting you to what I'm calling a Summer Vast Heart Challenge. And here's the invitation for you. I'm inviting you to actually take on this practice, or to somehow find a way to include it or weave it into whatever existing practice that you have. To begin the practice by just for 1 month, slowing it down and just focusing on 108 breaths horizontally. Now you might hear this saying 108 breaths. Well, the easy way to do that is just to buy yourself a simple set of mala beads that you can get at any little shop, Indian shop, or online, very, very inexpensively. And you just use the beads to basically help you stay focused. So each breath would be a bead. And you just move very slightly your fingers until you've gotten around the full rung, which would likely take you about 15 to 20 minutes. Not really a big investment of your time, considering. And so what happens if you get distracted, or you find yourself getting bored, or just wandering off? No problem. You just come back to the felt sense of your heart being breathed, firstly horizontally. And then next month, I'm going to invite you to shift the focus to feeling the heart being breathed vertically. The following month, we're going to focus on the heart being breathed front and back. And then finally, we're going to put it all together. And I really invite you to help one another with this meditation challenge, because we all encounter resistance to really getting to our meditation at times. So I know I've spoken about overcoming resistance recently, but I want to say a little bit more about that. You know, what really helps with our meditation is to recognize that resistance is inevitably part of it, because inevitably with a practice like this, it is going to really open things up significantly. Not only it's going to open up sort of beautiful possibilities, but it's also a purification practice. It's also likely to press on various issues or challenges or habits of closure, and we all have those. Our heart contracts and closes for so many reasons: hurts, disappointments, defenses that we've accrued over a lifetime. And so inevitably, a focus of meditation like this, that is so powerfully about allowing more space and openness, is likely to bring up some of those reasons that your heart contracted and closed in the first place. So just relax and trust that that's normal. And it would therefore be helpful just to journal any resistances or concerns that you have and share them with somebody else, so that they don't have to actually stop you. You can just bring your awareness and your compassion and your curiosity to those things and allow them to be here as you dedicate yourself to the meditation practice anyway. Because that's really what it takes. You have to make a commitment to yourself. And perhaps what helps with that is to set aside an actual time of day when you're going to do it and just do it. Really, that's what's needed ultimately. You need to make your inner life more important than the to-do list. And when you actually do that, when you place your intimate time with the divine at the center of your life, you'll notice that everything else actually works a lot better. So this is a truth you'll find espoused in all of the great spirit traditions, and it's right there as the first and second commandment in the 10 Commandments, and for a very good reason. So I'm inviting you to bring more dedication and more focus and more commitment to your meditation practice. And remember that as you do, any deeper focus and concentration that you bring to your meditation practice will significantly amplify any inquiry practice that you do, or any devotional practice, prayer or chanting that you engage in. And it will really help you to experience true rejuvenation over this summertime. And that's really what summer is about, is expansion and allowing yourself to really drink the goodness of life. So this is a way for you to do just that, and to really come to recognize your heart as so much deeper and broader and freer than you might have imagined. So I want to leave you with also a reminder that any meditation practice that I share with you can not only be practiced formally, which is always optimal, but in addition to that, in an on-the-spot version. So an on-the-spot version of this meditation could be done as a reset if you find yourself getting triggered into emotional reactivity. It could be done as you're out on a walk in nature. It's a beautiful way to practice this meditation, to walk and to really feel your interconnectedness with the trees and with the creatures, with the ground underneath you, to feel the natural love that you have for everything and everyone, and the recognition that it's inseparable from your heart. So I also recommend that just at any time you're feeling scared, or if any time you're aware of any sort of being caught up in thoughts about tomorrow, yesterday, judgments in particular, this is a really helpful meditation practice to work with. So I want to leave you with a quote that I find really beautiful and such an expression of the kinds of realization that regular engagement with the vast heart meditation practice helps you to really experience. And it's from the Radiance Sutras. It says, "The heart of the universe pulses in all hearts. There is one who is the life in all forms. One who is joyful in simply existing in all bodies as all bodies. Explore the life that is your heart, and you will discover that it is not different from the life of the secret one. And your heart will sing triumphant songs of being at home everywhere." So, my friends, if you've enjoyed this, if you found it valuable, and I hope that you have, I'd be so grateful if you would like this video and share it with your friends. And together, let's help to bring that vast heart, the grace of our vast heart, deeper into our world that surely could do with it. So my love, my blessings, and my support for your practice are with you. And I encourage you to share your experience with this on my Facebook page, and let's help one another with this. Thank you.